How much sleep do you get during the week, preparing for Lamar Jackson?
I mean, he's a great player. It's kind of all hands on deck, you know what I mean? But it's still, I think, still comes down to our execution. I mean, we can control what we can control.
Mark was just saying, even if you have a guy get free on Lamar, it usually takes more than one because he's so elusive. How do you scheme for that, or is there any way to scheme for that?
I think you just got to be careful with him. Period. You know what I mean? You gotta have good eyes in zone coverage. When you are a free rusher, when you do come free, you got to be really, really under control. I mean, there was one clip in the Clemson game. Literally, they had 3 guys at the point of attack that came loose at different times in the same play, and he made a miss and prolonged the down. So I think it's a combination of things. But at the end of the day, he's a great player.
Is there anyone else on Louisville's offense that stands out to you?
I think they got good receivers. I think the Bonifant kid's playing really well, so they got some weapons.
As a defensive coordinator, when you're facing somebody like Lamar, I mean, is it good? I mean, is it a challenge? Do you accept that as a challenge, or like Jeff said, you just lie in bed staring at the ceiling at night? I mean, do you like this kind of challenge?
I'll be honest with you. That's competition in general. It's fun to be in rivalry games. It's fun to be playing good people, and you respect that part about the game. I mean, so yeah, I think it's exciting. It's exciting for our kids. It's exciting for our program. It's exciting for our fans.
Have you noticed that maybe giving them a little extra shot?
Sure. And our guys have practiced with good energy for the most part throughout the year. But yeah, I mean, obviously, your in-state rival. It's exciting to play a game like that.
What do you want to see out of your DBs specifically this weekend?
Challenge the football. When the ball's in the air, we got to go make plays, and great leverage. A lot of the big plays that honestly Lamar makes in the run game happen because guys lose the edges. We got to do a great job losing the edges, or maintaining the edges and not losing the edges in the run game and secondary run support too.
How's the tackling been this week? Do you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked it, but we work it. Tackling something you have to work every week. Just because you're playing a great opponent or a great player, that doesn't change the fundamentals and the preparation part of it. You better prepare every week, So it's something. Is it emphasized this week? Sure. But every week we emphasize tackling.
What has Courtney Love meant to the defense in the 2 years that he's been here, both on the field and from a leadership standpoint?
I mean, on the field, he's a guy that's a tireless worker, and I think he's improved a lot. I mean, it's pretty noticeable on the film. Off the field, what a guy to represent your program from a character standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint. My wife says it all the time. I hope that our daughter marries somebody like Courtney Love, because that's the kind of character kid he is.
It's a different kind of challenge this week. It's 2 really good offenses back to back that you're facing, but a little bit different in how they approach things. For guys on your unit, what is the biggest difference between these 2 offenses?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, both of them run the ball very well. There's more quarterback-designed run game against Louisville than there was against Georgia. Georgia's more of a downhill, inside-outside zone, split zone, feed the ball to those 3 backs. Where this offense, they feed the ball to the back, but it's all off quarterback run game. So it is a little bit different.
Man, you've been with these guys for a while as they've come up through the ranks. It's senior day. What does it mean for somebody like Jacob Hyde, who maybe hasn't gotten on the field as much as he thought he would, to be finishing up his career?
The thing about a guy like that is he's had a great work ethic. He's had a great attitude. He's been a guy that's always with you. You know what I mean? So a kid like that, we want to go out and honor him by how we play and hopefully play great, and certainly appreciate everything he's done for the program.
How important is it to have kids like that in your program who maybe, as John said, they don't play a whole lot, but they still buy in and they help the other guys in there and they show up to practice every day?
It's absolutely huge. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only start 11, you know, and the reality is you're very fortunate if you have a couple all-league players. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of different roles, and Jacob's a guy that, you know, never was, I don't want to say he was satisfied in his role because he was working always for a larger role, but has accepted his role too. And I think that's huge, and I think that's goes to show you what kind of program Coach Stoops has built here. And I think that also goes to show, you know, why we're having more and more and more and more success as we build it, because guys have bought in to accepting their role.
How has Courtney improved just from year one last year playing to his final year?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, from a movement standpoint, he moves so much better than you know. And Courtney hadn't played a lot of inside linebacker in game reps, so he's done a great job of getting better from that standpoint. And I'll be honest with you, I think just trusting himself. When he pulls the trigger, he trusts himself now. I'm not sure he always did that before.
Everybody good?
Thanks, guys.